I'm going to call this meeting to order. And Mr. Toby, if you would come up here and lead us in a word of prayer.
Lord, we come to you tonight. We ask for wisdom, guidance, Lord, grace. Help us to be the city that you need us to be in this time for this community. God, I pray for the leadership. I pray for your guiding hand to be upon them, and that every decision made here tonight will honor you for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor, always. You're an asset to the city. At this time, would everybody join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Madam Recorder, would you please call a roll?
Mayor Tinnen.
Here.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Present.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Commissioner Gilmore. Commissioner Walker.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Recorder. Commissioners, before you, you have the reading of the April 19, 2026 regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners by the Recorder for approval or correction. Is there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are approved as written with a 4-0 vote. At this time, we're going to open up the podium for citizen comments. If anyone would like to speak at our podium, please make your way to the podium. Hold it to 3 minutes. State your name and address. Seeing no one make their way to the podium, we'll close this portion of the public hearing and move on to city manager comments.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. If you give me just a second, I'll walk around to the podium to introduce a couple of things.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, in April of this year, I did my annual presentation to the Goodlettsville Area Chamber of Commerce. And as a part of that presentation, we recognized certain people that helped during the ice storm of 26. As you all know, the ice storm of 26 was pretty devastating to our community. We got past it pretty quick. It is the most expensive natural disaster in the history of the city. Volunteer groups that helped during that time that was recognized was Good Works and Spiritus, which is a part of the Lutheran Church, and Mayor Rusty Tinnen, who was not able to be there that day, was a big part of that. So, Mayor Tinnen, if you come forward, I'd like to present you with this plaque because you tricked me that day. And now, second part of our program or recognition tonight, part of our Project 072, which is an initiative for this fiscal year that we're in, one was to achieve storm-ready community standard through the National Weather Service. So at this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Caleb Cravens with the National Weather Service and Deputy Chief Shane Toll if he'll come forward for this presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caleb Cravens. I am a meteorologist at the National Weather Service. If you don't know who we are. You may see our big radar dome as you're driving through Old Hickory on the lake. But we're the ones responsible for issuing all of your watches, warnings, and advisories for Middle Tennessee. And one of the programs that I lead in my office is this program called the Storm Ready Initiative. And what this is, it's a program that allows us to get out in the communities and provide some guidance on listing some roles and activities that cities, counties, school districts can take to be basically the most resilient they can be against storms, severe weather, anything from tornadoes to winter weather. We know that it seems that these events continue to increase and are becoming more common as we move forward in time. So essentially, what we do is we meet with community members. We lay out the groundwork and have a kind of a strict set tasks that each community has to meet. Some of these include things like making sure you have multiple ways to receive our warnings, making sure you have multiple ways to notify your community and get the alert out, and making sure basically you're taking all the steps that are possible to be resilient as possible against our ever-increasing severe weather threats that we see. So I'm pleased to announce that I've gone through this process with the city of Goodlettsville, and you meet all the requirements necessary to receive this certification. This Storm Ready certification essentially states that the city is taking every step necessary to make sure that they are the most prepared they can be against any kind of impending weather threat. So at this time, I'd like to present a certificate to the city of Goodlettsville, Tennessee, for being storm ready.
Commissioners, if you all come around and have your picture back. Hey, Shane, let's get a picture with all the city commissioners, with Deputy Chief Toll and Mr. Cravens. Thank you. All right, Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, you all have received this letter, but I'd like to read it because it's not only to the Board of Commission, but it's also to the Goodlettsville community. As you're aware, I have shared with you that I will be retiring as city manager from the city of Goodlettsville effective September 30th, 2026. For the past 15 years in this role, and 23 years serving the city of Goodlettsville has been more than just where I work. It has truly been my home. When I look back on more than 40 years in local government, I can say without hesitation that my time here has been the most meaningful chapter of my career. What I will carry with me most are the relationships each of you, our dedicated staff, and the people of Goodlettsville community. Together we have faced challenges, celebrated successes, and made decisions that have helped shape the city we all care so deeply about. I am incredibly proud of all we have accomplished, confident in all that is about to come, and I am deeply grateful for the trust, support, friendship you have shown me over the years. Dana and I truly love Goodlettsville. This community has given us so much, and we fully intend to remain here and continue to be a part of its future. While my role will be changing, my commitment to the city will not. I look forward to experiencing Goodlettsville in a new way on October 1st as a citizen, and to stay connected to the place and the people that mean so much to both of us. Thank you not just for your support in the work, but for the opportunity to be a part of something truly special. It has been an honor I will always cherish. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. You'll be greatly missed. Commissioners, any comments?
I would actually, I'm sure this hit us a sudden, as for you as for us, and we're still processing it, but a lot of the good in Goodlettsville has come from Mr. Ellis. His time served here, his dedication to the city is unwavering. The time and hours he's put into this, I consider him a friend. He's actually a neighbor, and I know he loves this city. So I thank you personally. I know the residents and the staff, as well as the board do. You have a unique position of having 5 bosses, as well as answering to city staff and residents. It is not a position I would want to be, and you have held it honorably, and I just appreciate all you've done for us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any more commissioner comments? Yeah, we're still on commissioner comments.
Okay. I'll have more to say at a later date because Mr. Ellis is not going away for a few months more, but would also just say thank you, Mr. Ellis. I like to remind folks, too, that the 5 of us or 4 of us up here tonight we're part-time. This is only a part-time gig for each of us, but Mr. Ellis's role is full-time to the city of Goodlettsville. It's a big position. He works incredibly hard and has for a very long time. So I admire you as a leader in our community and as a friend, and I'm very excited for you in this next chapter of your life, and just very appreciative of everything you've done for the community. And I'll have more to say as we get closer to your retirement. Well, yeah.
Thank you.
There's really nothing else I can say that everybody else hadn't said, but you will be missed. Your work is appreciated. We all know how hard you work. The citizens may not. We know how hard you work and what you do. You will be missed. I consider you a good friend, but good luck on your new journey.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to add to that just a little bit. What a lot of people don't understand about the way our government's ran here in this city, as Commissioner Walker said, we are not full-time employees. We're just elected, and as they said, we hire the city judge and the city manager. The commissioners dedicate a lot of hours to the city, and there's a whole lot more behind the scenes. And I want to say this to these guys because a lot of times the commission takes a lot of ridicule on social media and stuff, but if everybody knew our salaries, what we made up here, you'd probably second guess for the hours we put in, the small amount of pay we make. With that being said, we do this because we love the city. It's not for the money. So, and I want to thank the city and Mr. Ellis for this award. I heard something about it. I was supposed to be at the chamber meeting that day, but I was broke down on the side of the road, so I couldn't make it. So I missed that meeting, and I heard about it from one of our citizens is out here in the audience said, hey, you got an award today. So I was caught real off guard. Been here 30 years, and that was the first one. So thank you, Mr. Ellis. Thank you, the city. And it's an honor and a pleasure to serve as a commissioner and a mayor. With that being said, if no one else has any comments, I'm going to move on to our meeting.
And Mayor Tena, if I could make a motion to move item E under new business to the top of the agenda. We have some guests this evening, and I'd like to recognize them and give them a chance to depart early if they so choose.
Yes, let's go ahead and move that to the front.
Okay, that's
We can go ahead.
Resolution
So-
26-1331.
So we're going to move item E under new business to the very front of the meeting. So at this time, we're not going to start with unfinished business. We're going to start with that. So Mr. Ellis, if you would, please start us out with.
Sorry, point of order, just to be technical. Do we have a second to my motion? A second. Thank you.
We'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Second.
Aye,
All
thank you.
opposed. All right, Mr. Ellis, if you would, Go ahead and read Resolution 26-1331, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, it's a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Goodlettsville, Tennessee, recognizing the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month. This resolution by recommendation of Commissioner Walker, and I will turn it over to him if he wants to say anything, and I think we have a presentation associated as well.
Sure, I'll introduce the ordinance. Thank you, Mr. Ellis. So this is Resolution 26-1331. I'm proud to support the resolution recognizing May as Mental Health Awareness Month in the city of Goodlettsville. Mental health affects every family, every workplace, every school, every community, and in some way, many ways, people still struggle in silence with it. This resolution I'm proposing is a reminder that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness, and that compassion and connection matter. By recognizing Mental Health Awareness Month, we reaffirm our commitment to supporting awareness, reducing stigma, and encouraging open conversation throughout our community. Mental health is more than just seeing a therapist. It's taking care of your mind on a day-to-day basis, and can mean going for walks, eating right, exercising, and just surrounding yourself with positivity and with people and experiences that bring you joy. And I'll be vulnerable for just a moment in my introduction here. Serving in public office has definitely taught me the value of mental health and wellness and your personal therapy, the stresses of this role itself and the public nature of it, and the stresses I put on myself on a day-to-day basis. This year, I finally prioritized my own mental health, and going down that journey has already brought great benefits to my life. It's also given me a deeper appreciation for how important it is to have support systems and people that you can talk to when life feels a little heavy and a little bit cloudy. And I would like to thank everyone that works on a day-to-day basis in our communities to support mental health wellness. Healthcare professionals, counselors, teachers, first responders, family members, and friends. Even small acts of kindness and understanding can make a meaningful difference in our community. So Resolution 26-1331, I'd urge this board to support the resolution, and I proudly move for its approval.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to consider? Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes with a 4-0 vote.
Mayor Tennant, as well, if you don't mind, there are a couple of guests in the audience that would like to make a remark about the importance of mental health wellness, if that is okay with you.
Yeah, we're fixing to present it to them, so we can go ahead and get started.
Great.
Good evening, Board of Commissioners. My name is Sarah Rader, and I'm a licensed professional counselor, mental health service provider, owner of Sarah Rader Counseling here in Goodlettsville, and member of Leadership Goodlettsville Class of 2026. I work with individuals, couples navigating pregnancy and postpartum related mental health concerns, as well as trauma recovery. In addition to working with individual clients, I'm proud to let you know that Goodlettsville offers some free community therapy groups, including a free grief group in partnership with the ARM Foundation and a new mom support group beginning next month at the Goodlettsville Library. I want to sincerely thank Commissioner Jesse Walker for sponsoring the resolution to recognize May as Mental Health Awareness Month, and to the Board of Commissioners for your consideration. Mental health does affect every part of a community. It affects our schools, workplaces, families, healthcare systems, and relationships. We all have mental health just the same as we all have physical health. The question is, will we help make our community one in which mental health is prioritized and supported? Formal recognition of mental health awareness helps our community know that help is available and increases the likelihood that citizens will seek mental health support. This recognition also highlights Goodlettsville as a destination for mental health-focused organizations, programs, and resources with the potential to stimulate economic development in the healthcare sector. As a therapist, I've seen what happens when people finally feel safe enough to reach out. Healing becomes possible, families grow stronger, and communities become healthier. So tonight, I'm grateful to see Goodlettsville discussing mental health and therefore helping citizens who need support know that our community is rooting for them. Thank you for your time and support of this resolution.
Thank you.
I believe there may or may not be one more community partner here. I'm just not sure if they're here. Was there someone else here to speak? If not, Then that's all I have. Would love to get a photo together and do the presentation.
We've got the resolution,
Wonderful.
and do we want to give it to her?
Sure, if she's willing to accept
All
it.
right. You want to go up there?
Okay, the board will go around, then we'll get a photo. Chief Reeves, do you mind?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to unfinished business. Mr. Ellis, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you would, consider ordinance 26-1136, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, is an ordinance to amend the official zoning map of Goodlettsville adopted per ordinance 15851 by changing the zoning of property on Springfield Highway 41, State Route 11, from CPUD, Commercial Plan Unit Development Limited, to Commercial General Services. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this is second reading and requires a public hearing. Mr. Sean Falzer is here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to have, this requires a public hearing, so at this time, we're going to open up the podium for a public hearing. So if anyone would like to speak on this, please make your way to the podium. Seeing no one make their way to the podium, we'll close this portion of the public hearing and move on to commissioner comments. Any comments or questions from the commission? Hearing none, we'll move on to the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance passes with a 4-0 vote. Mr. Ellis, would you consider ordinance 26-1137, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, an ordinance to amend the official zoning map of Goodlettsville adopted per ordinance 15851 by changing the zoning of property on Dry Creek Road from HDR PUD, High Density Residential Plan Unit Development, to CPUD, Commercial Plan Unit Development. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this is second reading and requires public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to open up the podium again for a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak on this ordinance, please come to the front. Seeing no one make their way to the podium, we'll close this portion of the public hearing and move on to commissioner comments or questions.
Just one question for me, Mayor Tenen.
Yes, sir.
My understanding, just from watching the Planning Commission discuss this, there was no immediate plans for commercial activity on this property. This was more just to put it in line with neighboring properties around there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, good deal.
All right. Any more questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance passes with a 4-0 vote. Mr. Ellis, consider ordinance 26-1138, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, is an ordinance to amend the official zoning map of Goodlettsville adopted per ordinance 15851 by changing the zoning of a property on Dry Creek Road and O. Dickerson Road from HDR PUD, High Density Residential Plan Unit Development, to MDR PUD, Medium Density Residential Plan Unit Development, and amends the Dry Creek Farms Master Plan. This is second reading and requires public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. We have a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to open up the podium for a public hearing on this ordinance. Anyone want to make their way to the podium? Seeing no one make their way to the podium, we'll close this portion of the public hearing and move on to commissioner questions and comments. Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Oh,
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed?
I was an aye, a little delayed
All
there.
right.
Sorry.
Ordinance passes with a 4-0 vote. Thank you. Mr. Ellis, consider ordinance 26-1140, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, it's an ordinance of the City of Goodlettsville Board of Commissioners to amend the City of Goodlettsville Municipal Code, Title 7, Chapter 2, Section 201, as it relates to the fire code. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, this is second reading and public hearing. Mr. Mike Byer, Fire Marshal, is here this evening to answer any questions. It does require a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to open up the podium for public hearing. Seeing no one make their way to the podium, we'll close this portion of the public hearing and move on to commissioner comments or questions. Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance passes with a 4-0 vote. All right, moving on to new business. Wait, no, I got one more on the old business. Yeah, okay, we got 1141. I'm sorry. I skipped over that. Okay. Mr. Ellis, consider ordinance 26-1141, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this is an ordinance of the City of Goodlettsville Board of Commissioners amending the City of Goodlettsville Municipal Code, Title 7, Chapter 5, by amending Section 503 and creating a new Section 504. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, this is second reading, requires public hearing. Likewise, Mr. Mike Byer, Fire Marshal, is in here this evening to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. This requires a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak on this ordinance, please come to the podium. Seeing no one make their way to the podium, we'll close this portion public hearing and move on to commissioner comments or questions. Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance passes with a 4-0 vote. All right, Mr. Ellis, moving on to new business. Would you please consider ordinance 26-1142, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, this is an ordinance of the City of Goodlettsville, Tennessee, amending fiscal year 2025-2026 budget passed by ordinance 25-1112. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, this amendment relates to the response to Winter Storm Fern, or the ice storm as we have referred to. Staff naturally recommends approval of ordinance 25-1112.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance passes with a 4-0 vote. Mr. Ellis, consider ordinance 26-1143, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, it's an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance to define provisions for limited secondary residential dwelling units. Mr. Mayor and the Commissioners, is on first reading. Planning Commission approved unanimously. Staff recommends approval. Mr. Sean Falzer is here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
A second.
Thank you. Is there any questions on this ordinance?
I don't have any questions. I just, more of a statement, I guess. I know that this has come before us several times and been denied by the Planning Commission. I just would want the Planning Commission to adhere to this strictly and not make future amendments.
All
This
right.
is something we have had people come before us before that we've been denied. If we are going to change this, we need to strictly enforce this and stay with this and not continue to
Agreed.
make
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
amendments.
All right. Any more comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance passes with a 4-0 vote. Mr. Ellis, consider ordinance 26-1144, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, it's an ordinance to amend the official zoning map of Goodlettsville adopted per ordinance 15851 by changing the zoning of property at 7723 Old Springfield Highway from A, agricultural, to CPUDL, which is Commercial Plan Unit Development Limited. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, this is before you on first reading. Also, within that CPUDL, there is a limitation of use to that property added to that. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance passes with a 4-0 vote. All right. Mr. Ellis, consider ordinance 26-1145, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this is an ordinance of the City of Goodlettsville, Tennessee, adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, and ending on June 30th, 2027. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this is on first reading. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So move.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussions on this item?
I just have one question, Mr. Mayor. I'm looking for the line item, but sort of talked about this a little bit at the workshop, but the parking lot across the street, the $15,000 lease on it, I want to talk about that for a moment. Can you help me better understand what's the need there that's going to serve us next year?
Well, I mean, first off, that is just money to fund it if this board chose to go that route. There is no contract in place to lease that at this time. Discussions, probably Mr. Walker, going back before you came on the board, was about to make that for public parking, really coming from our Main Street project, which is going to take certain public parking or parking that has been used on state right-of-way for decades that was never really property of the businesses. That is the purpose. Just because there is money there for that, there will have to be another vote whether or not we move forward with that.
And that may or may not. Is it likely that that would come before us during this next budget year, or is that unlikely?
That would be our intent, is for, before I leave, is to finalize the lease on that. Mr. Freeman has not seen that yet. He's probably going to be mad at me. I've been practicing law again. But I will, my intent in the next couple of months is to have that draft before you all for consideration.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about this more since the workshop, and I know it's $15,000, but that's $15,000 of the community's money, and it's for a lease on a parking lot that the city is, from what I'm understanding, the city would improve the parking lot by paving it, lease it for up to 3 years, and at that point, maybe the property owners let us renew the lease, maybe they don't, maybe they sell the property to somebody else. And then at the same time, Main Street project won't be done for quite a while. So I'm just kind of struggling to understand why we're budgeting for it in this year and possibly voting on it in this year. When is it really going to serve the public in this next year, or 2 years even? And then when the lease is up, have we wasted that money? And that's sort of I know it's not the most important thing in our city right now, but it's $15,000.
I understand what you're saying, and once construction, which will begin this year, actually sooner than later, that parking will go away that exists now. So it's not just about the future, it's also as a transitional piece as well. I do share the same concern about the 3 years, and I share that number with you all for the fact that that's what the owners currently desire it be, but we're going to revisit that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if the owners were saying this is a 50-year lease, a 100-year lease on a property for 15 grand, that's different. That makes a lot of sense for the community. But 3 years, we can improve it for them. They could turn around and sell it for a profit. That seems problematic to me. So maybe when the resolution comes before us, we can have a further discussion about whether 3 years is the right number of years for that. Maybe they can propose something different to us. I kind of have a problem with that. I just wanted to vocalize it tonight.
And at that point, if this board decides not to enter into that lease, the discussion's over with and those funds are frozen, so it's not like we're expending on something else or anything of that nature. That just gives us the flexibility to move forward if this board deems it necessary as previously been discussed. The 3-year figure that I had given to you all, that was the last discussion about the middle of the ice storm, and we kind of got away from discussing it at that point.
Do we know, has the topic of purchasing it ever come up? I'm sure it's a lot more than $15,000.
Yes, sir, it has come up, and there is no interest. Well, there would be interest. I'm just not sure I could recommend, and it's not been priced, but it would be pretty significant.
Okay. And then last question too. I'm not familiar with the property owners. Is it individual? Is it like a large holding company? Is it property company?
It is owned by individuals.
Okay. All right. That's all I have.
And I want to speak on this as well. This is first reading, so Mr. Ellis has time to negotiate and talk to him for the longer period than 3 years. But I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ellis, but I think this is opportunity, really. It's an asset to the citizens of the city. I mean, for walkability, parking, other stuff to get to some of the businesses. And if we can lock that down for a small lease for X amount of years, I think it would be an asset for the citizens of the community. That's just my opinion. But as time goes on, we've got a month to talk about it. This is only first reading.
And we're also trying to identify some other areas too that actually, one, this piece of property we already own that would not serve this end of the roadway. It would be more to the north for public parking and things of that nature.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Any more comments, Mr.
I would just, I agree, Mayor Tenen. Having additional parking in this main street corridor is very beneficial. I'm just more focused on the terms of this exact deal, and I want to make sure that the city is getting the best value if we're going to spend money, improve somebody else's property just for a couple of years, and then not have any sort of bargaining power on what happens next.
Yeah, and we totally agree. And that's the reason I say hopefully Mr. Ellis can negotiate a longer term.
Negotiate some.
I think the problem we have now with some of our inner city businesses that we are limited on parking on special events and other times.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Thank you.
And like I said, this is only a placeholder. We've got a lot more work to go on before that even begins. And if it was a much larger number, I probably would not have even put it in the budget. It just, instead of having to amend it at some point in the future, I just went ahead and placed that number there as a placeholder. And there's other agreements, like I said, kind of a safety net that this board would have to approve in relations to it.
And I appreciate you doing what you've done trying to get it for us, Mr. Ellis. With that being said, let's move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I assume the ordinance passed with a 4-0 vote? All right. Here, Mr. Walker. All right, we've already taken care of item E, the resolution. So, Mr. Ellis, if you would consider resolution 26-1332, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this is a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Goodlettsville, Tennessee, adopting a budget, policies, and procedures. This is something that State Comptroller's Office is recommending for all municipalities, not just Goodlettsville. And staff recommends approval of Resolution 1332.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any questions or comments on this resolution? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes with a 4-0 vote. Mr. Ellis, would you consider Resolution 26-1333, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, it's a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Goodlettsville, Tennessee, authorizing the extension of a contract between the State of Tennessee Department of Transportation and the City of Goodlettsville related to the Main Street redevelopment project, PIN number 120326. This solely has to do with an extension of time of that agreement. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments on this resolution? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes with a 4-0 vote. Mr. Ellis, consider Resolution 26-1334, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, that the resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Goodlettsville, Tennessee, approving an interlocal agreement between the City of Goodlettsville and the Goodlettsville Industrial Development Board for the provision of administrative and financial management services and authorizing the mayor to execute the same. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, in regards to the issuance of tax incremental funding, there will be certain funds that the Industrial Development Board will be responsible for. And instead of them having to create their own staff, this just enters us into an agreement with Industrial Development Board, which is their own corporation, and allows us to assist them with administration and financial management of those funds. It will require a separate EIN number and accounts related to that. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussions on this resolution? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes with a 4-0 vote. Mr. Ellis, consider Resolution 26-1335, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. It's a resolution proclaiming May 17 through the 23rd, 2026 as Public Works Week in the City of Goodlettsville.
All right. Do we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second, first, second. All right, thank you. Any discussion on this resolution?
I would just make a comment that our Department of Public Services works incredibly hard. Got to visit with them recently, and they just do some really important work. So next time you're out and about in the city and you see water flowing through ditches and your sticks get picked up and your toilet flushes properly and all of these things that we probably take for granted every single day, they work tirelessly and have a lot of really important equipment and tools and knowledge with the staff to do that. So I'm really excited to highlight their services to our community.
Thank you, Commissioner Walker. All right. We're going to move on to a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The resolution passes with a 4-0 vote. Before we close the meeting, I just want to, I don't know if any other commissioners have comments, but I want to share with the staff, Mr. Ellis leaving us was a shock to all of us. I don't think anybody was ready for that. I mean, caught us all off guard, even I think Mr. Ellis himself. But anyway, I just want our city staff and employees to know that we support you. We're constantly thinking about you through this transition. I know it's going to be thoughtful and nerve-wracking at some times, but I assure you we'll make it comfortable, smooth transaction, and take every one of you, all your advice into consideration. I ask that none of you hesitate to call any of us commissioners with concerns or comments, whether it be our directors or city employees. Our board, as I said earlier, cares about the city and the citizens, but first and most importantly is our employees. You are what make the city go so smooth every day. I can't tell you in words how grateful we are for our staff. And being able to serve on this board for almost 12 years, I'm at a loss for words. There's not another city, as far as I'm concerned, that's ever performed better than what we have here in Goodlettsville. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank all of you employees for every bit of this. Any other commissioner comments?
I agree, and I do urge any employee, any resident that has any concerns, especially during this transition, to please reach out. Our phone numbers are on the website. We answer emails. We're very accessible. Please reach out at any time.
Do not hesitate.
I'll echo that as well, just so city staff hears it from me as well. Facebook, Instagram, call me, email me, text me, all of the things. I'm very reachable. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your ideas, your thoughts, your concerns, what you want to see as the future of the city. So, yeah, reach out to all of us.
And I get several phone calls. I'm sure the rest of the board does. And unless I don't hear my phone ring, I answer every call from every citizen and or respond back to them. So do not hesitate as a citizen, employer, anybody to ever give this board a call. Your city leaders are here for the citizens, the employees, and I assure you we will take your call and get back to you and or take it. With that being said, thank you all. Thank you for coming tonight. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
I do.
was-
I'll first that, and again, I will say congratulations on your award.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Second?
Wait, did you
I
motion?
did it first, yeah.
Okay, I'll second.
All right, thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? This meeting is adjourned.